So I'm back with the next video, which is going to be about accounts. Now, I hate the accounts and I hate doing them. It's quite funny because when I'm actually doing it, I enjoy it, but the thought of having to do them, I don't like. So it depends on your background, whether you have any clue about doing accounts and bookkeeping and stuff. But to start with, when I first started, I just made a spreadsheet and which had income and expenses and just the money. And then at the time I was doing pay as you go, so every day I'd record how much money I'd got in from all the different classes. So you can keep it pretty basic when you've started, but like I said in the last video, make sure you get registered with the HMRC. You don't want to get into trouble with them. It's not good for business, and you don't want the stress and a big fat fine when they find out who you are. It doesn't matter how small your business is, you need to make sure that you get registered, and it's all integrity at the end of the day. And I think start as you mean to go on. It doesn't matter how small your business are. You will only start paying tax once you've hit above a certain amount per year anyway. So it depends if you're working currently, but if you're not working at all, you get a personal allowance before you actually have to start paying tax. So that should help. And then of course, if you are working part-time or full-time, don't think your tax necessarily goes up, but you might be entitled to a rebate. But I don't do my accounts, so I don't know how it all works. I'm going to give you a layman's description of it all. So income and expenditure. So income is everything you're getting in from your business, sales basically, and your expenditure is everything that you are purchasing. So you're paying for halls, teachers, insurance, whatever else, petrol. So in relation to like petrol, we don't claim petrol. We don't keep the receipt for our petrol. What we do is I write down our mileage, and then we claim the per mile of mileage when we put in our tax. So again, our accountant does this. I'll just give her a spreadsheet of all my mileage that I've done for the year, and she works it out. So there's different ways you can do it though. So I think you can either claim the mileage, or you can claim like expenses in relation to like new tires, MOT and all of that stuff. But it's best to speak to an accountant for this. Like I said, I'm just giving you my brief understanding. And you can get an accountant to set up your business for you. So when I first started, I had a free consultation with an accounting firm. They set all my accounts up for me, and then they did my self-assessment when the financial year was over, and that was £350. And I think I paid that for like 2 years before I then changed accounting firms, only because my accountant I have now is actually one of our clients. So I wanted to have someone that I could be in regular contact with. So income and expenditure, self-assessment. Again, my best advice is get an accountant, because there's so much stuff you can claim on the business that you might not know about if you try and do it yourself. So things like your clothing. Now, I practically live in my Pilates clothes, so all the clothing I buy in relation to anything is I put it through the business, because it's like I said, I practically live in my Pilates clothes. Trainers, all that kind of stuff. Postage, stationery, there's tons of stuff that you can claim on the business. But say get an accountant, because I know that much, and I choose to stay within this little thing because I have so much other stuff to worry about, providing I get a gist of all the information. So with the accounts, there's two little gifts that I'm going to give you. So one of them is a cash flow spreadsheet, which my brother created for me. And in the spreadsheet, it's got a little chart on the one side, which has income and expenditure. And on the other side, it's a chart. So you might be fantastic with numbers and all that kind of stuff, and you might not even need that. My skill is not with numbers, and money management, shall we say. I like to spend it. So this has really helped me to make sure I've always got enough money in the bank, because I'm more of a visual person rather than numbers. So I can see through the month as my income and expenditures coming in, if it's going to drop below my bank balance, I know when it's going to happen. And then I know, right, I need to get more clients in, I need to sell some more workshops or something like that. So it has been a real good visual aid for me to keep on top of my accounts, and also to start building a buffer. So you'll see in the spreadsheet there's a little yellow box. So a buffer is an amount you want to always have in your bank account. So if I say, for example, we're going to put a buffer of £2,500 in, then all that money comes out. So when the income comes in, by the time you get to the next month, there should be £2,500 back in there. So yeah, you might drop below it through the month, but come the first of the following month, it wants to be back up at 2.5. So that's like a naught balance, but it's a positive, so that, you know, you're never going to be in trouble or anything like that. So, and obviously you haven't got £2.5 lying in your pocket, so it's something that you save to. So every month you're just going to add 100 and stuff. So as your business is small when you start, it's easier to do that because your buffer doesn't need to be that big. Maybe your buffer only needs to be 500. But as your business grows and grows and grows, so I'm just having a look on my sheet here. So my buffer is actually how much our house expenses are. So that I know, well, no matter what happens, I could cover all of our bills at home. Because when you're self-employed, you know, you need to make sure that you can get your mortgage and everything paid. So the buffer that I've got on the studio, on the business account, would be for exactly what we need for the house. So the other thing is bank accounts. So, oh, and that spreadsheet is going to be in the blog for you, and hopefully it will work when you get there, because there's all coding in there. I've put little notes in there and stuff for you. So, but if you need a hand, just email me and I can go through that with you. Bank accounts. We have a business bank account now with Santander, just because our business is getting that big. But when we started, we just use our personal accounts, and as far as I'm aware, that is okay to use your personal account. The problem comes in when you're spending and when you got money coming in, and trying to then have to give your accountant a record of all of these things. So even if you've got a personal status account and it's an account that you don't use, great, use that one for your business money. Because it's easier to track and to, you know, to record stuff. So you don't have to have a business one. It's only when you start becoming a bigger company or something. The other thing is how you are going to register yourself. So are you going to be a limited? Are you going to be a sole trader, a partnership? My advice to you is, if it's you on your own, just start as a sole trader. Myself and Paul are as partnerships. We haven't gone as a limited company yet. So the difference between the two is, so if you go into limited company, if your business goes bust or anything like that, they can't come after you. For example, like I said, because you're a small business, it's so take advice from accountants, but in my opinion, because you're a small business, you're not going to go and have like 50 grand's worth of debt on your business account. Hopefully not. You know, and for us it was quite risky because we did put a lot of our business, and I want to say debt, like when we had renovations for the studio done, we put a lot of the money on our personal loans and stuff. So, but we did go as a partnership. So had we failed to pay anything in the business, it would have come back onto our house. So it was risky, but that is what we felt was the best decision for us at the time. But when you go as a limited company, there's extra corporation taxes and stuff that you need to pay. So, but you can change. So we'll get to a point, I'm sure at some stage, that we'll change into a limited company. But for now, we're quite happy just being a partnership. I don't know if there's a limit that you can stay in a partnership up until like a maximum income, or if you eventually have to change. I'm not sure of that. So there's quite a lot of information, I know, with that, but this is just stuff that I had no idea about when I started, and had I known what I know now, I would have probably done things differently when I started and saved myself a lot of money with fuck-ups. So you want to keep all your receipts, everything that you spend on the business, you want to keep all the receipts. So I now use QuickBooks, which is quite nice, because if I go to Tesco's, let's just say, for example, I buy cleaning products, get the receipt, take a photo, and I can put it straight onto QuickBooks, and then I keep all the hard copies here. So then my accountant can access that from her office. But in the beginning, I'll just use a spreadsheet. So I will create a spreadsheet and also put that in for you. So I'm just trying to think if there's anything else. No, can't think of anything else. Again, I hope it's helpful. If you've got questions, as always, info@elitepilatesteachertraining.co.uk. So subscribe to the channel, because we are forever adding more videos onto here. And if you also want some more information about our teacher training course, level 3 diploma in Pilates, teaching Pilates, you can visit our website at www.elitepilatesteachertraining.co.uk. And I will catch you in the next video. Bye.